A glimmer of hope that a nationwide strike by teachers in Guyana could be called off. And in sport, Guyana crowned the under-19 50 over champions. I'm Ricardo Roberts and this is Caribbean in 10 for Thursday, August 30. I'll be back with the details after the break. Guyana Teachers Union, GTU, says it's prepared to call off the nationwide strike over pay increases if the Education Ministry agrees to arbitration. Yesterday, conciliation talks between the GTU and the ministry lasted just 2 hours, with the two sides unable to agree on the way forward. The Ministry of Education wants conciliation to continue as part of the collective bargaining agreement, but the GTU has indicated that it's ready for arbitration. For the process to move to arbitration, both parties would have to agree. The union is pushing for a 40% salary increase in keeping with the recommendations of a presidential task force, but it has indicated it is prepared to negotiate downwards. Following yesterday's meeting, GTU President Mark Light said the union would be willing to call off the strike completely if the Education Ministry agrees to move the process to arbitration.
There's been an impasse between the GTU's position and the Ministry of Education's position on the way forward. They're insisting that they want conciliation, and we are insisting that the conciliation process has been compromised, which to some extent has been admitted by the Ministry of Labor. And it is the Ministry of Education now to decide to meet the GTU's terms. And once those terms are met, we have gotten our release that we are prepared to call the strike off immediately should those conditions be satisfied.
Following the meeting at the Labor Department on Brickdam, the GTU president also said the union would be willing to call off the strike completely if the Education Ministry agrees to move the process to arbitration.
No, the ball is in their court. We indicated to them that if they call us midnight tonight, we'll be ready.
The Secretary of the Guyana Teachers Union, Coretta McDonald, read a full statement to the Chief Labor Officer detailing the union's position. In that statement, the union provided some of the terms of reference that it would like to see as part of the arbitration process.
We just want to say to our teachers, this struggle continues, and parents, general public out there, we trust that you would understand our position, and our position is we are willing to call the strike off as early as midnight tonight, providing that the Ministry of Education, they are willing to accept our term.
And that report from Gordon Mosley of News Source Guyana. Amid trade union calls for the Trinidad and Tobago government to rethink its decision to close down the refinery at state-owned oil company Petrotrin, the controversial move is getting thumbs up from the Chamber of Industry and Commerce. In fact, it says the decision should have been taken long ago, and the process would have been less traumatic if tougher measures had been taken earlier when the country was in a better financial position to buffer the impact. In a statement given the move its support, the Chamber said it believes Petrotrin, which has recorded billions of dollars in debt in recent years, is on the right path to fulfilling its obligations to the state and towards financing its own business requirements. When it announced the decision to end oil refining operations, Petrotrin said it was part of an overall plan to restructure the company. It acknowledged that about $26 1,500 permanent jobs would be affected, including 1,700 jobs in the refinery, which will be terminated. The Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Commerce says it trusts that all stakeholders can work together to mitigate that fallout. It added that in today's global business landscape, an entity must be competitive in order to thrive, and this is not achievable without significant changes being made to Petrotrin's operational structure. 3 Costa Rican nationals are in police custody following a major marijuana bust by members of the Jamaica Defense Force Coast Guard. A Jamaican has also been detained. The Defense Force said in a statement that they seized 70 pounds of marijuana after a boat with 4 men capsized south of the Pedro Banks on Tuesday. A small boat was dispatched to rescue the men who were seen waving their hands in distress, and en route, the officers saw knitted bags floating near the capsized vessel. The bags were found to contain drugs, and 4 men were held in connection with the find. According to the Defense Force, several other items were also found, including a satellite phone, a cellular phone connected to a Costa Rican telecommunications company, batteries, and more marijuana believed to be for personal use. Stay with us. Your Midday Sport is next.
We try to understand, because it's very important that
Yes.
people understand how you can influence positively
Yes.
the change of law. What were your arguments for the minimum wage to be 10.10, was it?
Yep.
10.
So, we believe fundamentally that hard work deserves fair pay. And when we are paying workers $7.25 an hour,
Coming to New Jersey, the official national soccer team of Jamaica will face the national team of Ecuador. September 7th, 8 p.m. at the Red Bull Arena. Jamaica versus Ecuador with all their stars. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com or at the stadium and at a Delgado travel agency near you. Free admission for children under 10. Restrictions apply. Jamaica versus Ecuador. Brought to you by SPD Sports. Don't miss this exciting match.
Welcome back. It's now time for sport. Guyana's last round victory over the Windward Islands, coupled with Trinidad and Tobago's heartbreaking loss to Jamaica, helped the boys from Georgetown to capture the regional under-1950 over title yesterday. Both teams headed into the final round of the matches with a similar record of 4 wins and 1 loss, but Guyana were crowned champions after they soundly whipped the Windwards by 7 wickets, while TNT lost to Jamaica by 4 runs. Now, Guyana's victory was spurred by a spirited bowling performance from opening bowlers Joshua Jones and Kwame Torrington, along with Kevlon Anderson. Jones struck with just the second ball of the innings, dismissing Jahil Waters for a duck without a run on the board. 12 runs later, he also accounted for the wicket of Teddy Bishop. And once Anderson was brought into the attack, he quickly snapped up the wicket of top scorer Jason and Alexander for 22 to spark a middle order collapse that saw the Windwards lose their last 7 wickets for 54 runs. Anderson was the main culprit, finishing with figures of 4 for 26. He received good support from Torrington with 3 for 26 and Jones on 2 for 23. And former sprint superstar Usain Bolt has admitted that he is finding it hard to adjust to the level of fitness required for him to become a professional footballer. He made the comments ahead of his first trial this week for the Central Coast Marinas, where he hopes to fulfill his dream of having a soccer career. Now, according to reports, the 32-year-old and 8-time champion had lack of football fitness and was evidently resting more than his teammates. We'll hear about that story at 6:30. That's Caribbean in 10. Good afternoon.